Hello. So for this video response for the history and philosophy of sport and physical education, we're asked to answer these two questions. Um, does the American attitude towards rules that Oriard says can be easily seen in athletic competition also manifest itself in business, law, and other institutions that search for loopholes and other strategic ways to circumvent rules? If I had a kind of a hard time understanding what Oriard was saying, and so if I understood this completely or correctly, I guess, um, I would say that there are certain areas of the United States that I think that the American attitude towards rules can be seen in athletic competition. Um, Oriard had said, us like for Americans, that they argue to this day that we are of the middle class and so have no code of honor to break. He also said that this difference in culture is reflected in our games, and Oriard argues that Americans wish to exploit the rules of the contest as much as they wish to adhere to them. And so, even though Oriard had said that Americans argue that we all are part of American class, I mean the middle class, there's still a type of code that goes without mention that people follow. So, an example that I was thinking of and that just kind of like popped in my head a lot was uh, for me as a basketball player. I've been playing for a little over a decade now, and there was a time where I was on a traveling basketball team, and we would go to different counties and different states to play against, obviously, different teams. And one of the times, so I played for Ventura County, and one of the times we went to Hawthorne. I think it's Hawthorne City or Hawthorne Heights. It's kind of over by Compton or Inglewood. I'm pretty sure it's closer to Compton than it is anything else. But it's over there, or Carson City. So it's over there. And when we're playing, like, I don't know if it was just an overall difference of teams being disciplined and undisciplined, but the other team that we played was from Hawthorne. It wasn't like Hawthorne City High School or something like that. They were just from that general area. And the whole game, that team was very vocal to the referees and not so much like trash talking, but they're just vocal in general compared to my team, who was, if a call was called or there was a foul, we wouldn't go up to the ref and be like, "What are you talking about? Like, what is this?" And um, it was just more of like they were vocal about it. They looked at the ref and like, "Are you kidding me?" and like argued with them and stuff like that. And that kind of like goes back to um, the British rules of like sport or like of football in this matter. And they stated in the book that amateur athletes operated on a code of honor associated with the peculiarities of their elitist social class, a code that was as old as the game as they played. And going back to that, it was more of like they had this code of honor, where they didn't really need referees. They didn't need um, uh, rules, I guess. And that's just kind of how I understood it as. I could be really wrong, but as far as it going back to with my whole basketball perspective, it's the code of honor for the British and the code of honor, for like by basketball is discipline versus undisciplined, and I think that's what the difference is between like the British and the American rules, is that one is disciplined and the other is undisciplined. And as far as it goes with business and law and anything with the workforce, um, this would obviously, I think a lot of sports is dipped into businesses and, like I said, businesses, workforce, and like jobs and whatnot, because it's not just what's at stake isn't just winning a game or losing a game. It's your life. It's your money. You're either winning money or you're losing money. You know, so you could see that a lot with sports and in the workforce. You're going to have a lot of people who are really disciplined and will listen to, their bosses, and a lot of people who are undisciplined and will kind of do whatever they want. And it could be a good thing and it could be a bad thing. It's not necessarily bad the whole time, but, it just depends on like what you're working in. And a lot of it's just like a self-determined factor of, are you going to win or are you going to lose? How far are you going to go? Like that type of thing. And that's just kind of like what I kind of took that as. So, for the second question of to what degree does sport reflect society and society reflect sport? Um, I guess the whole, sport does reflect society. Another example of that is right now I'm coaching at San Bernardino Valley College, and I've said this before in like my other videos. I'm not from here, obviously, but the girls that we're coaching right now are really vocal, and it's different compared to the girls that I coached in Ventura County. And it's just the way things work. Was last night we played against LA Southwest over at LA Southwest, and the referees were not calling calls for us, but I already told them, I told the girls that, there's a stigma to San Bernardino, and referees are going to come in whether they know you or not. Like, they're going to come in thinking that you guys are the bad guys. And, coming from Oxnard, it was the same thing for Oxnard College. If we're playing against Ventura College, they're not going to have calls for us. They're going to have calls for Ventura College, for the better team, for the better respecting team. Anyways, so during the game, one of our girls was getting really upset, and she was sitting on the bench, and she had 4 fouls, so she had to sit there until we could put her in, and she can, waste her 5th foul. But this girl sitting on the bench, there was a call being called, and she told the refs, "What the F were you looking at?" And the ref teed her up real quick. And I'm not saying all of San Bernardino is bad or anything like that. Like, I know there's good parts, and I know it's not fair to say that, just because of one person San Bernardino is bad. But this particular player, she just kind of reflected society, because when something isn't going right, you're going to argue about it. You're going to, you're going to fight it. And we've told this player like 1,000 times, like, you cannot talk to the refs like that. I don't care who you are. Like, you cannot talk to the ref like that. You cannot be disrespectful. And, continuing telling her that, you're reflecting the school, not just the number or the name on your back. Like, you're reflecting the school. And I think that's just a lot of with sports and society. If you're playing for a team, obviously it's going to reflect it no matter what. And it's just goes back to, are you disciplined or are you undisciplined? Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed that. Sorry it was long. Have a good day.